Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lillian and the Magic Box. Today on our show, you're going to have Jack. Jack is from England in the UK. So let's see what Jack has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Jack. How are you?
Hi, William. I'm good, thank you. How about yourself?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this evening for the interview. Thank you.
And thank you for having me.
So, tell me, how was your day today?
My day has been good. It's been a good day. Um,
Yeah?
I suffer with mental health, so sometimes I have good and bad days.
Mm-hmm.
But I've gone to the gym. I've done the things I need to do,
Mm-hmm.
and I took a little 10 minutes out of the day to have a bit of me time, and it just
Yeah,
helps. It helps hit that reset button.
totally. And do you consider yourself to be more of a day or a night person?
I'd say more of a
Mm-hmm.
day person. I like to get up early and see the sun and
Yeah.
do things early. Be productive.
And you always being an early bird?
No, no. As a teenager, I was the other way. I would stay up all night and sleep in the day.
Wow.
Um, and I didn't enjoy it. In the end, I didn't enjoy it. So
So
I've learned from past mistakes.
so tell me where you're from, Jack.
So I'm from Leicester, Braunston. Braunston's been a change of pace. It's a different environment to Syston. Um, it's been a learning curve, put it that way.
Right. And how far are you from London?
From London, I'm about a 2 hour drive. Um,
Okay.
so not too far. East Midlands.
And tell me, what do you do for work, for living, Jack?
I'm doing online personal training and coaching, but that's only just started.
Hmm.
So I'm in the early stages.
Right.
So it's a little bit slow. Take the good with the bad, because they say you need the bad days to appreciate the good days. So
Absolutely. I agree. I agree. I think, sometimes being in a challenge moment is the only place that you can learn something different as well. And about yourself
that's
as well.
good.
That's what
No, that's true. There's some wise words there.
um, right, Jack. Okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your journey so far, okay?
Okay.
But before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Uh, well, I've always had this side of me that likes to be challenged, not by other
Mm-hmm.
people, but by events in life. I feel like by being challenged, I grow and develop as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so one example I will give is when I was younger, I went on a family holiday with my mother, my father, and my grandparents, and we went to I think it was a Spanish island, I think Fuerteventura, and I
Yeah.
wanted to learn how to swim. And the hotel had a big swimming pool, really big. But my family would not let me go in without these armbands on.
Right.
And it got to the last day of the holiday, and I was really disappointed because I set the goal of learning to swim. And I thought later today we're going back. I've failed. And I went out by the pool because it was early morning and something banging against the window woke me up. And I looked around and there was no one around. And I thought, I've not got my armbands. So I jumped into the deep end, but I jumped so I was away from the edge. So I gave myself a
Wow.
choice. The choice was sink or swim. And I was panicking. My eyes were closed. I was splashing around. And when I opened them, I was the other side of the pool. So I sort of doggy paddled across. And that
Wow.
taught me a lesson that I carried throughout life.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
How old are you at the time?
I think I would have been 6 or 7. Six or
Wow.
seven. I lost my mother at 9 years old, so
Wow.
it'd been about 6 or 7, I think.
Oh, wow. And do you have siblings as well, or we are the only child?
I was an only child. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted siblings, but it's
Oh,
just it's just the way it went.
I see. Okay, so Jack, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
It sounds great.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random fun questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question. Okay?
Okay. Wow.
Let's do it. Okay, so during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to answer, always can change. Okay?
Okay.
Right. First question is, what do you think people need to know about each other before they get married?
Wow. That's a good question. I think they need to truly know one another on a
Mm-hmm.
very deep level, because one thing I think I see a lot of today in today's world is people jump too quickly, and
Yeah.
then they end up divorcing, splitting up because they find out they're not actually compatible.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And how do you find the dating life in Leicester, the place where you live right now? People they tend to use the apps or they tend to go some places. How do you see based on your experience?
It's a bit of both, but I would say that dating is a mixed bag, because you've got people who genuinely want to find a partner and something real, and
Yeah.
you've got others that don't. They just want to get to the good stuff. um, so yeah, it's a mixed bag, but they
Mm-hmm.
definitely use the apps more. But they do go out, like women in particular will, from nights out like Friday nights, Saturday nights, uptown in the clubs. They definitely get attention. So it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely somewhere for them to explore.
I see. And what's the most popular places over there that people tend to go for, to meet other people, to connect with other people as well?
Well, that's a very good question. Me personally, I met my ex, my recent ex. We broke up last week. Um,
Oops.
I met her on Tinder.
Okay.
Um, and then through Tinder, I got to know her, and I got to know her properly on a deep level.
Right.
So even though it started off on an app, it became something very real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but for others, it can be from the clubs, it can be through friends of friends, even gyms, workplaces. I think it's anywhere where you meet and have that initial physical attraction, that plants the seed that can then
Yeah.
grow, I think.
And when you are on a dating, the dating world, when you are kind of connect with other women, what's something that you look for when you go on a date with them?
That's a good question. The first thing that I look for, I would say, is a sense of humor, because
Hmm.
I want someone that I can have a laugh with, because ultimately, if you are going to have something long term, you're going to build and create memories, and you
Yeah.
want good energy in that. So I definitely look for something a little bit deeper,
Right.
not just the physical attraction.
Okay.
But it is an important part.
Totally. I think it's something natural for us when you see someone gets the looks and everything, something normal. And after you kind of things just go with the flow. That's how I see as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. Let's do it. Okay. Next question is, Do you think your priorities have changed since you were younger?
Definitely, definitely. When I was younger, I was carefree. Um, I didn't like much responsibility or commitment.
Uh-huh.
Um, and as I got older, I understood the importance of working hard and building that foundation for the future, and
Hmm.
being aware of everything that could be like pay rises, things that could affect pay packets.
Yeah,
All of a sudden, all the things I wasn't interested in before became very important.
right.
Um, So yeah, I think as we get older, as we pass through the chapters, we
Yeah,
do develop, even if we don't intend to. It just seems to be a natural process.
totally. And saying that, when you think about yourself, when you analyze Jack, what's the biggest joy of being you?
The biggest joy of being me, um, I would say, is the paths I've crossed in my journey. Um, in my journey of bodybuilding, um, I have met some amazing people who
Hmm.
taught me not just things inside the gym, but they taught me how to build my mind, how to focus on balance, and how to feed that inner you that can
Hmm.
make you happy and make you glow. And I realize that's just as important as money, because whether you've got a lot of money or you're struggling at the time, I think what determines getting through life is enjoying it and enjoying the moments.
Totally.
So I took a lot from that, and I've changed from that. I'm thankful. I
Thanks.
am
Cool.
thankful.
Next question. Let's do it. Next question. Okay, before the next question, yeah, you're talking about the bodybuilder career, and also, of course, checking your profile, I could see that fitness it's part of your life. So my question for you is, fitness always been part of your life, or it's something that started from some time?
So I started at 16. I'm 31 now.
Mhm.
Before 16, I just ate junk food and played video games. I was not into fitness or sports.
Wow.
um, but once I started going to the gym and I felt a bit healthier, a little bit better, it became addictive. Not the pursuit of a monstrous frame, but the reward, the satisfaction of doing something and getting something back.
Right.
Um, and I think that planted a seed that transitioned into all aspects of life, be it work, relationships. It transfers.
And
But the main,
how often? Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
go on.
carry on. Sorry, carry on.
Oh, the main thing for me as well was with my mental health.
Hmm.
Um, when it was low, I could be in quite a dark place, and I would withdraw from people, which wasn't really the best thing to do. But the gym gave me something to look forward to, something to enjoy, and
Yeah,
that on the bad days, it was like an anchor.
totally.
So,
Yeah. No, I think that when you are working out, when you are doing exercise, your mind just clear up. You just feel this great vibe about you. And how often do you train right now?
so I train 5 days a week,
Hmm.
Monday to Friday.
Right.
Um, have the weekends for rest, and I
Yeah.
ice bath every day. And the ice bath has also been a big part. It's not for everyone, but I found personally that when I was in the cold waters, a lot of the voices and the noise, maybe the things sort of pushing the negative thoughts, they silenced, because all you
Hmm.
could think about was how cold the water was. But
Yeah.
that silence gave you a break, and that break hit a reset button.
Right.
So it became a tool,
Wow.
and a good one.
And do you do
Good one.
every single day the cold shower?
Every single day I ice bath.
Wow, my God, that's very brave. And usually it's in the morning, the afternoon, or in the evening. How does it work?
Well, it would depend. For example, summer, because it's a lot hotter,
Hmm.
it's better to go out early morning before the sun rises because it's at the
Right.
coolest point. But I'll do it evenings. At night time, I find it relaxing. My favorite time is if there's a storm. I like to ice bath in the storm.
Wow. And why is that?
It's the rain falling down on your face is quite relaxing. It's quite soothing. And although I'm not too sure on the safety side, but hearing the thunder in the background for me was relaxing.
Oh my God.
I enjoyed it.
Uh, cool. Next question is, which book had a big influence on you?
Wow. Um, I'd I'd say um, I've I've got some bodybuilding books, but I got a autobiography from a wrestler. Now
Okay.
I don't watch wrestling anymore, but when I was younger, I used to be into it. And there was this wrestler by the name of Eddie Guerrero, who sadly took his own life. But when the autobiography came out, I bought it, I started reading, and I found it ever so interesting because it wasn't just about the career. He was talking about everything, the personal life, the struggles in the background, how it all
Wow.
eventually built up. Um, and I found it very interesting and educational because after reading that, when I would experience maybe warning signs that I read in
Mm,
that book, I could recognize them and think, okay, I need to take a step back. So
right.
it was influential in a sense because it opened my eyes.
But did you ever was into wrestling as well, or no? Was just for just to watch it?
Just to watch it, just to watch
Yeah.
it. Um, Growing up, it fascinated me because wrestling was the first time I saw the big muscly men. And I suppose that's what inspired me ultimately to get into the gym and pursue bodybuilding.
Totally.
Um, I think that's what planted the seed initially.
Amazing.
It was mind blowing to see these guys in the shape that they were. I'd never
Mm.
seen it before. My mind was, it looked like a cartoon.
I can imagine. I think nowadays, even when you watch wrestling as well, I go like, my God, is this real sometimes? But it's amazing to see those people performing, with I think you can see, I had so many wrestlers here on the show, and, they explain about the beauty, it's hard work. People, they think that it's easy, but it's quite difficult. But the same time, they have the best fun of their lives. That's what they enjoy the most.
Exactly, exactly. And they entertain and influence
Totally.
thousands.
Yeah. Next question. Let's do it. You like dancing, Jack?
um, well, it's not something I've done a lot of, but I, I definitely think it makes people feel good, and it transfers good energy, I
Totally.
think.
Next question is, what was the last thing that made you smile?
The last thing that made me smile, I would say it was the last time I saw my ex because I wasn't aware that it was going to be the last time. um, and I think just spending time with someone who meant
Mm,
so much, it was
totally.
it it was a rich moment. So I was definitely smiling.
What's the meaning of love for you, Jack?
The meaning of love, I think true love is when you recognize your soul's counterpart in another.
Mhm.
When
Wow.
you see them as an equal and then you go from two people and you become one. And it's like something bigger than yourselves has pulled you together and you can feel it.
Yeah.
And that is an amazing feeling.
Love that. I think love is powerful. You know, these butterflies then you feel in our tummy. At the same time, can hurt as well, very deeply. But it's worth it to take the ride because it's an amazing feeling for sure.
Definitely, definitely. I think it's without love, you there'd be no point in experiencing life because I think that's the main substance, if you will.
Tell me about your first crush and your first love.
My first crush and my first love. Well, when I was when I was a child, there was this television program called S Club 7, which was a band. It was a girl
Hmm.
band. Well, it was mixed, girls and boys, but they had some pretty girls. And I had a crush on one of them for sure. And I used to watch the TV show regularly. um, my first love, I would have been 16,
Oh,
and I met her at work, and we had an 8-year relationship, and we was engaged.
oh wow.
Um, but again, it ended to my surprise.
Hmm.
So in some ways, I've not done too well in relationships, but I try.
Trust the journey. Yes, that's the thing. Keep trying because I think the right one always come in the right time. That's how I see as well.
I like
And you're
that.
a person that you fall in love very easily or not for you take time for you to get, completely involved with someone.
I think usually it takes a little time because I want to get to know them properly, and I keep my guard up a little bit because
Yeah.
even though love is a beautiful thing, it can
Hmm.
also be a very dangerous game because
Totally.
your emotions and your headspace can just zap if it goes south, and you've got to
Yeah.
preserve yourself as well.
Yeah.
But you've
Cool.
also got to be open to welcome it. It's it's a
It's the
hard game.
balance. It's the balance. Right. I have three questions left. Let's do it. Okay, so before the next question, tell me when was the idea for you to start your career as a coach, online coach?
So I started that about 4 or 5 months ago.
Hmm.
I was hesitant to start this
Yeah.
because it's a completely new avenue. It's a new experience. I didn't feel like I knew a lot about the online field, but everything today is pushing to that market. Um, but I had a lot of requests. I had a lot of people asking if I would do it and if I do
Wow.
it to let them know. So it seemed like there was a customer base waiting.
Right.
So I started, um, but it was quiet to begin with, and slowly picking up clientele. But
Right.
but the important thing for me is not immediately having the numbers, although it'd be great. I
Hmm.
want to give the results to those people because from my own experience, it's transformed my life. And in some ways I feel like it saved me. So I want to give that to them because I think that's a powerful gift and a powerful tool.
Oh. Okay. Next question. Next question is, what is one thing you can't live without?
One thing I can't live without. I would say above everything, my family,
Hmm.
because my family's always been there. They know me and accept me for who I am.
Oh,
I never feel judged. I feel safe, and we love each other. And I think it's important to appreciate that because I feel like in today's society now, the bond in families is a lot weaker than it used to be. And I
right.
feel like part of that is communication because not many families eat around the table. They're not talking about their day. It's just the kids are on phones and iPads. The parents are busy with work. it's not as close as it used to be.
And which person in your family right now you feel more connected with or more close to?
I would say my aunt. Um, my aunt's been there quite a lot for me. She's helped me with a lot of things.
Hmm.
Excuse me. I suffer with a few disabilities and a chronic illness.
Hmm.
And she's been helping me learn about them and try and get the help that I need. Which I'm currently battling for, actually. But I do believe there'll be light at the end of the tunnel. I've got a tribunal coming up regarding my chronic illness. So
Hmm.
hopefully, should I win, I'll start getting the help I need.
Wow. Okay, so your aunt, she's watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message. What would you say?
Wow. Okay. You put me on the spot. I would I would say thank you so much for all the help and the support and picking me up on my low moments and showing me that family family and having someone that you know you can rely on is is a tool that you can use to overcome most, if not all, obstacles. It's
Wow.
it's 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 powerful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I think having support of our loved ones, in life, it's very important. And as you said before, you feel safe. You feel like, you know that they are in your back. So you know that for whatever reason they're gonna be there for you. So I think it's very important for sure. Send my
Exactly.
regards to her, okay? From me.
I will. Thank you. Thank you, William.
Two questions left. Let's do it. Think is the biggest cause of mental health issues right now?
um, I'd say it's a mixture of things for generally speaking, because um, there's cost of living crisis. There's a tremendous amount of pressure from every angle, be it from expectations from a loved one to um, paycheck to paycheck with a job, getting by on the bills, inflation, and with all the cuts as well. If you've got anyone in your family who might be disabled, right now currently there's talks of major cuts for those that are disabled, and it'd be a worry because those people need help, and if you take that help from them, what's going to happen?
Yeah,
You know, so a lot of pressure, and I think a lot of people feel alone. There's not many people talking about what's going on in their head and what's what's or how they're feeling, their low points. They're keeping it to themselves. And I think it's important to express it. It's important to seek help, even if it's from your
hmm,
GP. Um,
totally.
yeah, there's a lot of pressure in the world right now. A lot of pressure.
Yeah, I think men, we've been raised in a way that you cannot show emotions, you cannot ask for help, you need to be strong, you know what I mean? But I think that, asking for help, it's a big sign of being strong when you ask for help. That's how I see it. I think that nowadays with social media, people, they are more open about. I think men, they are more, open about their feelings and their struggles as well. But it's still a long way to go. But I think that's a lot of people.
Have have started taking those steps. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And when was the moment for you somehow we got encouraged to talk about more about your feelings, about, yourself? Did something happen or not?
Well, yeah. In the journey of um, going through the doctors and trying to get help for my chronic illness, and then the battle which has led to tribunal, it's it's shown me that times can be tough, whether you seek help or not. But what determines surviving them is getting that help.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, it the first time that I sort of opened up about everything, I felt very vulnerable and very weak. And I was very, normally, I don't care too much if people criticize me, but with something that was so deep rooted, all of a sudden I had this fear of I could be seen as a lesser person.
Wow.
So I think the first time I opened up, the GP that I spoke to about it, he didn't judge me at all. And I thought, wow, like I I came here feeling a bit like a Frankenstein, and he's made me feel like a equal. And I started to open up more and more. And there's been the odd person that you get a negative reaction from, which is a learning
Mm-hmm.
curve, but the majority were supportive. And that showed me that I can ask for help and I can
So,
be open about what I go through and the battles and the bad days.
totally amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, next question is, what is the most beautiful thing someone has ever done for you?
The most beautiful thing. Wow. I would say, I would say, again, this will go back to my recent ex, and it'll go back to when we first met. Now, when we first met, I was in a bad headspace, and in my own mind, I basically gave up on love and maybe life at the time. I wasn't feeling great. And I wasn't expecting when we met to have this connection immediately, straight away. And it was like I had electricity.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, I went from this hopeless, dark place to light. I felt like I had a reason to get up. I had something to look forward to. I had someone to share things with. And she she basically she gave me sunshine on rainy days.
Oh, sweet. Oh, sweet. I think that yeah, relationship it's an interesting topic. People they come into our lives and we can feel this great feeling, and sometimes it's like a holocaust. You never know what can happen.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
what
just
makes
hope
us
that
beautiful.
yes, absolutely. That's what makes beautiful. It's it can be difficult, can be painful, but at the same time as well can be beautiful.
Very true. Very true.
Last question, ready?
I am. I am.
Let's do it. Last question.
Good.
Right. So before the last question, Jack, tell me, people watch this interview right now. Maybe they would like to start, some class with you. They would like to connect with you through your online coaching. Tell me something, about the service that you provide, that you want to provide, that people they can, somehow connect with you through your service as a coach.
Okay. Well, what I specialize in bodybuilding, but I can do fitness. I can do um, strongman, which is a different kind of sport.
Okay.
Um, but what I specialize in particular is the diet and the training. And my journey, I started the gym myself at 16 and started it properly at 18. But at the age of 28, I met an old gentleman at my current gym called Fred, and Fred is 64.
Wow.
But I didn't realize he was a ex bodybuilding champion. He he won most of his shows, and he's trained a series of successful competitors after he retired.
Oh,
So he was quite prestigious. So I approached Fred. I said, Fred, like bodybuilding's been a big part of my life. Can you teach me more? And he taught me old school bodybuilding, old school dieting. Um, and then through training with him, I've achieved the bulks. I've achieved the shredding phase where you take the fat out of the body. I've got competition ready myself. So I've got photos and videos of that on there. And if through Fred, I've gained a lot of experience, and I can share that and give that to my clients.
mhm.
Um, because the most powerful tool is knowledge. So passing that on, they can then maintain what I teach them for the rest of their lives because they'll know how to do that.
I
So
see.
my goal ultimately is to educate people properly and to give them the results they want. And I'm hoping that it will give them the confidence and the joy that it gave me. I want to share that with as many people as I can. That's my goal.
Amazing. Okay. Last question is, right. So this question is my favorite question of the Magic Box, okay? And came up for you.
Okay.
Send away a message to someone, but you don't need to tell who this message is for. Just the
Ooh,
person who is watching gonna go like, I know this message is for me.
wow. Okay. So I won't I won't say their name, but
No,
I
no, don't say their names.
I met a very, very good friend of mine at this gym who who helped inspire me to go down the path I'm on now. And I would just like to say that although he's not the most confident within himself, he was able to fill me with the confidence to do everything I thought I never could. So
Wow,
thank you.
great, very good. Okay, Jack, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words, just one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
Let's start with money,
Money. I need more of it.
okay? One word for fear,
Fear, new experiences.
life,
Wow. Beauty,
love,
magical,
religion,
powerful,
sex,
amazing,
politics,
confusing, confusing,
okay? Friendship,
strong,
desire,
friendship strong, powerful,
regret,
regret, common but unnecessary.
okay? Yeah. Wish,
I think everyone wishes for something. It's whether they put the ball in motion to achieve it.
okay? Happiness, one word.
Happiness. Um, a gift.
One word for England.
Great.
One word for bodybuilding.
Challenging.
And the last one now, online coach, one word.
Dream.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your aunt for a coffee and I'm going to ask her, define Jack in one positive and one negative word only. What should say?
Um, determined. One negative. Stubborn.
Interesting. Let's play now, Jack, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, Jack, you can ask me a question now.
Okay, so I have a question for you, William, and that is, what is it in life that puts a spring in your step?
Wow, what a great question. My God, what a great question. Wow, wow. Okay, you know what? It's going to be something very simple, but it's something that's, it's genuine. Yeah.
Okay.
Always been an early bird, Jack. Always been, from, I think for the last 20 years of my life, always been very connected with the mornings. The mornings brings me the best. And
Yeah.
you know something that I realized that as soon as I start my day, as soon as I leave my home, that I have this very fresh air, like in the morning, like when I'm walking, in the morning, I have this fresh air. For me, that brings I don't know, there is some power in there that I feel the greatest. I feel like, my God, I feel like something starting now. I feel, it's a start of something new. So
Wow.
today, I remember today it was a day, and always like that. When I wake up in the morning, when I had shower, when I organize myself to leave, as soon as I step out of my building, this fresh air came along, and I go like, my God, it feels so great. That's a new day starting. So it's very simple and it's very genuine as well. But the first fresh air that I have outside, outdoors, when I step out, that's what me giving the sparkle that I feel like, wow, it's a new day starting. Simple,
That's
but
incredible.
it's a genuine answer because that's how I feel every morning. Even though if I'm tired or if I'm not having my best days, but as soon as I step out, it's like a reminder. It's a new day. It's a new opportunity. It's a new start now. So this very
Wow.
fresh air in the morning, it's something that sparkles my day every day. Trust me,
I,
it's a
I
powerful moment.
I think that's absolutely amazing
Yeah,
because it tells me a lot about you as well. I can tell just from that that you're a very positive person,
always
and
being.
you appreciate the little things. And I think that that is amazing because that is something you can have every day, which means you can have a positive start
Yeah.
every single day. That's
And
incredible.
And it's so interesting, Jack, because I even don't expect for it. As soon as I open the door, it's like I feel like, oh my God, it's fresh air come along, and I feel it. I was like, wow, that's amazing. It's every day is the same routine, and I feel the greatest. So I always feel grateful for that moment, for sure. Yeah,
That's
for sure.
amazing. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you.
Totally. I was expecting this question, and it's the first thing that came to my mind for sure. And I appreciate a lot, this moment. Amazing. Thanks for the question. I love it.
Thank
Did you
you for
enjoy
the
the
answer.
Did you enjoy the interview?
I did very much. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you
Thanks
for
again.
reaching out to me.
Thanks again for being so kind and so open as well. I think it's amazing for you to be able to talk about, things in our lives, and you never know who is watching this interview. And sometimes we can help others as well, sharing our own experience. So thanks again. But before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Okay. Um, I I would say this is my message to anyone who might be having a bit of a bad day,
Mhm.
and that is to remember that a diamond was once a piece of coal that did very well under pressure.
Wow, great. Amazing. Thanks again. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend and keep in touch. Okay. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay.
You as well, and thank you for having me. And
Take care.
thank you for spreading some of your positivity.
Amazing. I'm here the thankful one. People here taking their time for the interview. Thanks so much. Take care.
Thank you
Okay.
very much. Bye
Have a
for
good.
now.
Take care. Bye bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.